Hey, Shalom, Kalalal, Yahweh Bahashem Yabushai. This is Brother Gabar Allah, coming back at you with another video from the voice of Jacob. And I just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah HaKwadash, and double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone that I do learn this truth from. To you I say Shalom and Shalom, to you Hakim and you Akwath that are out there in the four corners of the earth, serving Yahweh Bahashem Shai to the best of your ability. So I just want to take a look at this article because it's going into a statement that was made by Donald J. Trump, which he is the current president of the United States. And it's very heavy because what this tells me, it tells me that this world that we're in should have been destroyed a long time, by this statement that he says here. But if it wasn't for the mercy of Yahweh Bahashem Shai and for him preserving the elect, this place would have been done nuked and blown up already, man. So this is from RT News, and the link will be in the description, of course. And it was posted yesterday, November 4th, 2025. It says, "We have enough nukes to blow up the world 150 times, Trump. The U.S. president has reiterated a nuclear testing threat while calling for global denuclearization. U.S. President Donald Trump has defended his push to resume nuclear weapon testing, boasting that America's arsenal is powerful enough to blow up the world 150 times and should be maintained through active trials. In a CBS interview aired on Sunday, Trump was asked why the U.S. needs to test its nuclear weapons again after more than 3 decades of a Congress-mandated moratorium. Because you have to see how they work, Trump replied. I'm saying that we're going to test nuclear weapons like other countries do. We're the only country that doesn't test, and I don't want to be the only country that doesn't test." Yeah, so obviously this is deterrence. This is what you call deterrence. Donald Trump, he framed the move as necessary because of what, he described as testing programs. When you go into the article, it goes more into it, but it's what he described as testing programs that are underway by Russia and China. And he's arguing that the U.S. must test on an equal basis. So obviously this is a form of deterrence to intimidate these other nations as well, and to show how strong America is and that they're ready for war no matter what, especially if it's nuclear war. So Donald Trump, in this article, he's just announcing that the U.S. will restart testing its nuclear weapons. So but it says here to blow up the world 150 times. That reminds me of Matthew chapter 24 verse 22. Let me pull that up. Let's get that. Matthew chapter 24 verse 22. And it says, "And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened." You see? So let's read in the NLT. "In fact, unless that time of calamity is shortened, not a single person will survive. But it will be shortened for the sake of the Most High's chosen ones." You see? And that's going into destruction, thermonuclear destruction. We know that that's going to come about. Now, the elect's sake, the elect are the ones that are going to be sealed. They're the ones that are set up to be chosen for salvation in these last days. And that's why when you go into scriptures like Revelation, the 7th chapter, it talks about that. Holding back the destroying wind. The reason why that destroying wind is being held back is really for the elect's sake. Right? So the Lord is working on the minds of the kings of the earth to hold back that destroying wind until the elect of the nation of Israel is fully sealed, right? So let me get that. This is Revelation chapter 7, verse 1. "And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree." Yeah, that's right. Sometimes it's called the mighty wind as well. I believe that's found in Revelation, the 6th chapter and the 13th verse on down. It talks about that mighty wind. So this is the same thing, that destroying wind, that mighty wind. And that's going to be created and caused by the nuclear missiles when they blow up. So it says here, and I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the earth, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. Yes, and to get a better understanding of that, you would have to read Ezekiel chapter 9, specifically the 4th verse. It goes into the sealing of the elect. And that seal is actually called a mark, which in the Hebrew, it's the thawa, which is the mark of exemption. So though the elect has that mark of exemption, what are they exempt from? Destruction, judgment. And judgment is going to come by the way of thermonuclear destruction. And you're seeing it here, man. It's eventually going to happen. Remember, he's saying things like this. Look, to blow up the world 150 times, man. We have enough nukes to blow up the world 150 times. That's very serious. Matthew 24 and 22, man. Except those days should be shortened. There should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened, you know. So it's by the mercy of Yahweh Bashim Yoshai that we're not dead. You know, if you really want to think about it, because if it were up to these men that were ruling on the earth, we would cease to exist. And that includes everybody, not just the nation of Israel, everybody, man. You know, holy crap. So let's move on. Let's go to Revelation 9. Let's go to the 16th verse, because that's 150 times over. That means 200,000 missiles. And America has a lot of missiles. This earth, well, these other nations, I mean, they have a lot of missiles as well. But I just want to bring this up because 200 million missiles is going to fall upon America too. So that goes into destruction, nuclear destruction. So this is just a nuke scripture. So this is Revelation chapter 9, verse 16. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them, and thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth, and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths is issued fire, and smoke, and brimstone. Yeah, out of their heads, right? Or it says out of their mouths, because that's where the warhead sits, right? That's the actual bomb itself. And when it hits a certain altitude, then the warheads fall out of the missile. They come out of the missile, and then they hit the designated target, right? Now it says, by these 3 was a third part of men killed, by the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths. Yeah, and that's going into the wicked, including the beast system, right? In this man's power system, his power structure, which is which starts with America, and then obviously goes into NATO and the EU, right? So that includes the beast, right? Which is ruled by you Edomites. You're going to be destroyed in these last days by the missiles, man. That's why it says here 200,000, which is 200 million mounted troops, which you really can't count that. What the Lord is trying to emphasize here is just that so much nukes are going to be shot off that it's going to be so catastrophic, man, because you can't count 200 million. You can't count that, right? It's just showing you that there's just going to be so much nukes that this place is going to be bombarded by so much nukes. It's going to be a total destruction, right? All right, man. So that's all that I want from here. Let me get Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 23, because this article is going into deterrence. This is just to let the world know that America is still on top, and you're not gonna be over us, over my dead body, which just proves that America is the hammer of the earth. You know, and a part of you being the hammer means that you have weapons, you have a military, right, and you're powerful, and that goes into these nukes. So let's get Jeremiah chapter 51. verse 23. And it says, hold on. Sorry, 50, verse 23. My fault. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 23. And it says, how is the hammer of the earth, of the whole earth, cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Yeah, because they were the mightiest, right? You know, they're the mightiest hammer in all the earth. You know, that starts with the military. They're strong, they're powerful. But in these last days, they're going to be destroyed. They're going to be destroyed by these different nations with nuclear capabilities. Because these nations with nuclear capabilities are going to shoot their missiles upon it, just like what we read in Revelation, the 9th chapter. That's a part of the 200,000, which is 200 million missiles, right? Anyways, it says, I have laid, verse 24, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. Yeah, and they striven against the Lord. Job 9:24, earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right. Yeah, you know, they change the icons. They cover the faces of the judges thereof, you know, changing the icons, changing the face and image of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, and changing the identity of who the true Israelites are, and also putting the Lord to an open shame, man, mocking the Lord, mocking his people. Yeah, so they were against the Lord, so now the Lord is against you, and he's going to destroy you. Right? By how? Thermonuclear destruction. So anyways, man, that's all I want, you know, real quick. But, hey, this speaks volumes. 150 times, you know, we have enough nukes to blow up the world 150 times, man. Wow. And that's a serious statement. So, I don't know. I'll probably put this in as a nuke watch, maybe. This is going to probably be a nuke watch number 6. Lord willing, I don't know. But hope this was edifying. Until next time, just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakahak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops. Great millstone. To you I say shalom. Shalom unto the hopeful elect and you Akim that are out there pushing this truth in sincerity and not for vainglory. This is Brother Gabari Allah. This is the voice of Jacob. Kwame Ashala, Baba Bal, Shalom.